Sabah everybody and welcome back. The S22, the S22 Ultra, and the S22 Plus are starting to deliver from your pre-orders, so if you've already put in an order, you're more than likely to be receiving your device right now. Or if you're thinking about picking up a brand new Galaxy S22, S22 Plus, or S22 Ultra, you may want to check out this video with the original cases made by Samsung. Now these are made specifically for the S22 Ultra, but some of them are available for your device. So without further ado, this is TK, this is the S22 Ultra, let's check out those original cases. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified whenever we have new videos on the channel. So here we have them. These are the original cases made by Samsung. Now I will say one thing. There is one case that's not present right here, and it's actually a variant of the silicone cover case here that we have. And essentially it has a strap on the back, kind of similar to the one that we saw with the Z Flip 3. I was not able to pick that up at the time because they ran out of it, but for the most part it's the same case with just a handle, kind of like a pop socket from Samsung. But as far as what we have in here, we have the protective standing cover. This one is in blue. There's a few options of that one. Of course, there's the S Flip cover. That's the original one. I really like it. I always like to get those cases. The smart LED view cover, the leather cover, and I got this one in black. Of course, I just mentioned to you guys just a second ago, we have the silicone cover and of course the clear standing cover. The reason why I decided to get this one is because the version of the S22 Ultra that I got is a beautiful green color, and I don't want to miss out on this. So although some of these cases don't let me see my device, this one for sure will allow me, and of course it includes a kickstand. So we're going to start off with the protective standing cover. So here it is. It is actually a little bit see-through. I wasn't really aware of that. In previous years, I've seen them when they come out. They typically come out like with a more of a hardened kind of non-see-through material. There's a small sticker here that we're going to just remove. Now this one does have dual kickstands. There's one at the top and one at the bottom. So it's not just a good protective case, but it also provides us an additional kickstand. Now, let's go ahead and insert the device. This is pretty straightforward. You just put your phone in and you snap it in, and it pretty much just works right away. There is a lanyard option here on the left side, and it is a rubberized grip all around on both sides. Volume rocker, power button, the grip here on the side as well as on here. So if you want a lanyard, you have the option of putting it there. Full port access with the microphone at the bottom firing speaker, and of course S Pen accessibility, which obviously is a very important function, and of course the ability of actually seeing here the additional microphone at the top. The camera sensors are covered. They're actually fully flat, so now the device is no longer giving us that little bit of a wobble, and of course you definitely can see here they're all in kind of like recessed in. And if you want to be able to use it with the kickstand on the short side, you can put it in this way. If you, let's say you want to use it a little bit longer, you can just do it that way as well. And one thing I also find that it also works very nicely if you want to be able to use it like this. It does provide a little bit of leverage here if you want to hold it in the back, although one of them will basically just probably do it just right. The kickstands unfortunately are not strong enough to be able to do it all the way. I've done it in the past where it will hold it, but I've seen them in the past where they just snap off. So just be aware, it's really meant more for content consumption. So you have more of a dual level incline over there. The display obviously is protected. There is a raised lip. You can see that right there and all the way on the bottom. Last but not least, of course, we're going to go ahead and check it out. Make sure wireless charging. I would imagine wireless charging should be perfectly fine. We'll give it a second. And of course, it works as advertised. And then one last thing before we go, they do include actually replaceable clips. So in case you do damage one of them in the case, there's the two that are already installed in here, and then there's two additional ones that are slightly different colors, so more of a light gray, in case you want to be able to use that. Now for me, if you kind of think about it, this looks kind of a little bit closer to mine, so I will be go ahead and switching these guys for those. The next two covers are going to be the leather cover as well as the silicone cover, since for the most part they're very similar except for the different material. So we'll go ahead and open up the leather cover. Again, both of them are in black, and there are additional colors available for you depending on your preference. For me, I like to go with black because that's typically the one I usually use. Not to say that I don't like other cases, but this is the one I typically pick up. And there seems to be like just a paper cover right there. And here we are. So first we're going to start off with is the leather. Now there is a sticker here, we'll take that out. There is a soft material on the inside of the case. The case itself is entirely encased in leather. You'll notice even the openings all the way all around. And there's actually a coverage here all the way between the different pieces. So inserting it is going to be pretty much straightforward. We're going to go ahead and insert it at the top just to kind of align it a little bit. And on the bottom, we'll just go ahead and snap it on, and it should be pretty straightforward. Now, first thing, it's a fully flat case. You can see it right there. There is no wobble. There is no issue. It does cover the sensors, and it does actually provide us a little bit of a protection, although not a very raised protection. So if you're putting it on, obviously, this is something to be aware. It's really more of a flat experience. Flat at the top, flat at the bottom, opening for the S Pen, as you can imagine, speaker, microphone, USB-C, and of course the microphone at the top. Otherwise, it is very much a very nice, very luxurious case. It is a little bit, one of the options that was available also was like more of the traditional leather color, but I decided to go with this one. So this one definitely looks really, really nice. And of course, there should be no issue with this, obviously, with wireless charging. Let's go ahead and put it on for a second as I'm taking this guy off. Now, this guy, for the most part, feels roughly the same. And what I mean by this is the material on the inside is still very soft, and on the outside is just a neoprene, or basically a silicone cover. So for the most part, fits and looks the exact same way as the leather, with the exception of the fact of the material. And again, same thing, flat at the top, opening for the microphone, opening at the bottom, and of course, just very nice and very more distinguished. And keep in mind, there is the second version of this that has a strap that's already connected to this, which provides us the ability of kind of having like a little bit of a pop socket, but more of Samsung style. And of course, wireless charging should not be an issue at all, as again, this is a very, very similar case to this one. And there we go. Before we jump into the specialty cases, let's go ahead and do the quick real one. This one is the clear standing case, and the meaning essentially is it's a clear case with a kickstand. So there's a Samsung kickstand right here, gives us the ability of using it as a kickstand, of course, and it is absolutely clear. Now, this is not a silicone, so it is harder. Definitely harder material, and it is again flat to match the S22 Ultra's design. And you can see right there the stand sits at the bottom on the left side, so it opens up. If you're facing the phone, it opens up to this side, so it always makes it so that the S Pen is sitting to the right of the phone. So if you just want to keep that in mind. Now, it should be strong enough to keep the device standing up in this one, and actually this is one of the better hinges that I've seen before on their standing cases. It does unfortunately add a little bit of a bulk, but because it's all the way at the bottom and it is leveled with the phone, it doesn't create any wobble issues for us. So overall, very nice. As long as you create a bump that is actually symmetrical, it goes across the phone, it typically provides us good protection. As far as the camera lenses, as you can imagine, everything is kind of flush with the device. It does provide us a little bit of a recess on it. There's a little bit of a lip at the top, although not very pronounced. I do recommend a glass protector on this one. And again, similar thing provided here at the bottom. As far as the buttons, we have power, volume rocker, opening here, opening there. Everything works great. And again, this should not be a surprise, as wireless charging should work perfectly on this one as well. It's right there, just need to make sure to align it correctly. Definitely looks nice, and this will be the one that gives you the ability of enjoying the color that you decide to pick up on your phone. Now, in here, it looks a little bit darker green, but I assure you, in the sunlight, this is going to look beautiful. And again, I really like this color. It's either blue or this. Unfortunately, the blue one was going to be mid-March, so I decided to go with the green one. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over now to the smart LED cover. Now, this one has specific functionality that's done inside of the phone. And what I mean by this, it's not just a case that you take out and you put on your phone and that's pretty much it. There's ways to actually customize it to get a much better experience. Overall, the case itself, it seems like, okay, so we do need to remove the inside part of it out. It is made slightly to be more of a wallet style. So you notice there is a wallet now. In the past, they didn't usually include that, but now they're actually including that in here. And one thing to keep in mind, it is a soft material on the inside, and of course a little bit of raised material here to protect the device. It is definitely very nice, very hard case itself. Let's go ahead and put the phone. Now, one thing to mention is once you install it on the phone, you'll notice that there's something that actually gets added into the phone as far as an accessibility or functionality. So I'll go ahead and put the phone case in here, and I'm going to close it. Right away, it recognizes it and it gives me the time. So that's the time on the device. So 7:42, or actually 7:42 a.m. And we're able to basically interact with it a little bit. I think if we're playing music, so here, press power button, brings that back. If I'm playing music, if I'm not mistaken, so here, once you do that, you'll get the notification, additional download features. So we'll go ahead and hit download, and that's going to take us in there and download the LED cover, so LED view cover. We'll go ahead and install that there. All we have to do is go into the settings under advanced features, and then we're going to scroll all the way down where it says basically accessories. We'll click the accessories, and then we'll notice right there LED view cover, about LED view cover. So this is basically just the about for it, and because this is the only case that I have paired with it, it's pretty much straightforward. So here, LED editor, so we're going to click it. Effect is glitter, and of course we have preloaded ones that we're able to basically turn on. So airplane would be one of them, so you can actually definitely double check and see which ones are going to be to your personal preference. One thing I do like is we're able to actually customize them by adding different options here. So we can basically just say TK very badly actually, and we're going to just erase this one, and I'm just going to call it TK because that's how creative I am at this point. We'll go ahead and just kick that in there, and then we'll give it in, and essentially what's going to be able to do here is just customize all the options that you are able to do here. You'll notice there's a little bit of an LED, kind of like an EQ that's built in. Now, typically in the past, the LED used to be more centered. Now it seems like it's sitting on the top right, similar to what we see with the other device. And of course, if we're playing music and we want to be able to interact with it, as you can see here, you can actually kind of change it, go all the way, and it goes a full circle around the headphones to let you know that this is a music. To power it on, you can actually see that the EQ is still running, and of course, once the EQ is done, it takes us back to the watch. Overall, very nice, very flat, does cover the back over there. It is not magnetic, so you just keep in mind, when you open it up, it will light up your display. When you close it, it goes straight into the LED. And the LED is actually present on the top right as opposed to the center, what we've seen in the past. It does work really nice. It does have that little pocket here from currency. I wouldn't put credit cards in there. Although because it's new, I feel like it's a little bit harder, or it could just be the material that I have in here. But you should be able to have it propped up like this, or even flat on the table to be able to give you nice access to the phone itself. Overall, very good. There is an opening for the earpiece here, so you don't have to open it up when you're listening or receiving calls. And of course, everything else is opened up pretty well. Checking out real quick the wireless charging, which should not be an issue at all. And if I'm not mistaken, we should have some LED indication here for the charging itself. And as you can see right there, it is charging 87% and it is going to be going up. So again, very nice. A lot of different options that you're able to get out of it directly. It is definitely very good. Just keep in mind, it does open up, so it's not magnetic. So when you're holding it, just always be mindful of the opening on the right side. Now, I know a lot of us have been waiting for this, so I saved the best for last. This is the S-View flip cover. This actually has an open window. There is no glass here covering, so you could see. Now, in the past, we used to have versions of this case that used to have a glass covering. This one does not. Material very similar to the as far as the LED, soft material on the inside, basically more of a silicone, a little bit harder silicone case. An opening here, an opening for the ear, and of course, once we put our device in it, we'll go ahead and put it in a little bit on the top first, and then on the bottom. You'll notice that it fits perfectly fine. And once we turn on the power button, we'll notice there's a little bit of display, time and date, percentage. There is the music player on the side since I was playing that before, so I'll go ahead and play that in there. I'll bring that down and I'll switch it to the left. This tells us that we have some notifications available, and of course this is the customizable option. And if we have it on wireless charger, it says fast wireless charging, and of course 83%, 30 minutes until full. So just standard information that you're able to interact with, and of course if you have any music player sitting on the top, you're able to interact with it and pause it. So very similar experience to what we got on the display. One thing I was not aware of, which it seems like it doesn't actually need a separate app, so there is no settings tab directly within the system. Open earpiece at the top, very similar experience. It opens up right away. There is no pocket here, so this is pretty much just the case. Flat on the top, flat on the bottom, of course, and then we have, of course, protection for the lenses, and of course the display is entirely covered. One thing to keep in mind though is that again, it does not connect or it does not close magnetically. I was hoping for it, but it doesn't seem to be that way. On the back, we're able to basically prop it up and you'll be able to use it to watch content on it. Of course, if you want to be able to interact and do other things with it, for the most part, everything and anything that you can, you will be able to provide it right there. That little notification went away since I swiped out the music player. And if I want to be able to basically see any additional options here, you'll notice there's no music player. You can customize those widgets directly from the lock screen option. Very nice, very sleek. Again, the S-View flip cover from Samsung. My hope is that you found one of these cases to your appeal. I mean, again, we have the hard protection, we have leather, we have silicone, we have clear, we have an LED, as well as a smart S-View cover. So everything that you need is really available for your device to give you some really good protection, as well as some actually customizations that you can't even get with some of the other options that are available on the market. I'm talking specifically about the LED and the S-View. Those are proprietary cases that work with the device. The LED does require an app that downloads automatically, and of course the S-View does not need that. Actually, it seems like it's working pretty well. Overall, out of all of these cases, I'm not going to lie to you guys, the hard protection one is definitely going to be the one I'm going to be rocking. I'm going to be going to MWC in the next couple of days or so. So I definitely want the best protection with some functionalities with my smartphone. When I get back, I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to end up going with the clear one or even the S-View, since I actually like that one. And of course, this one allows me to actually see the device and enjoy all of the content on it, as well as the ability of actually enjoying the color of the phone. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. Thank you very much for checking out this video. And if you haven't done it yet, please make sure to like and subscribe so that you're always aware, of course, when we put out new videos on Samsung devices and more tips and tricks that's going to be coming up in the near future. I'll see you in the next one.